There's a delay. This channel is called Rena Rants. Yeah. There's so much like bombardment of the senses, you know. Like you can get overstimulated very easily scrolling through YouTube, can't you? Any social media app, yeah. I think that like by the end of the evening of like putting things together and sort of dialing in and like figuring out what the underneath um, frequency is, yeah. Like I get pretty overstimulated, yeah, by the morning. That's a fair statement, right? Because I'm just now getting up, having coffee, got my incense lit. Like it's always a calm conversation. I think a lot of people are searching for like deeper meaning in their life because there's been this veneer that's been put over the human experience that it's all supposed to be fake, that it's this big theatrical production to have interactions with people or to deliver information, right? You know, sometimes YouTubers will read these letters that they get from these supposed lawyers, right? Or I even heard, oh, me again, Markle, like her letter that she wrote to Congress, right? And I was like, you can play a character on TV. That doesn't make you qualified in real life, right? Like I can always tell like what's bullshit, right? Because it's a very keep it simple structure, right? And that's how I like to operate anyways, right? My professor would call it throat clearing statements, right? Like if you wrote a paper or arguing a case or whatever and there was just too much of that extra shit in there, he would put TC. Like all that extra shit is not necessary. It's a keep it simple, keep it to the facts, blah, blah, blah. And I like that, right? I don't like all that extra like shit. The only time you add that extra fluff is when you're trying to persuade someone of something, yes. That's the only time that it's acceptable, right? Yeah, I'm not here to persuade anyone. I'm just here's the fucking facts. Like it's just the facts. Put the dots together, and you can figure out like the bigger picture, right? But first, you got to figure out what it is that they're doing with the right hand that they don't want the left to see. Yeah, I just find it so odd. Like whenever I was reading through that dossier, uh, I find it odd that the very people who are throwing the notorious repeated tantrum uh, over their entitlement to others' resources, yes, is the exact ones that was like stoking up all of this chaos amongst like the regular poor people, right? Because let's keep it real, those people they shove in your faces, those aren't poor people. Those are not people like you and me, okay? It's not, right? These people are puppets. That's the definition of selling your soul when you have no choice or no option but to deliver the message they tell you to deliver. Yeah. All right. You have no choice in moral or principle. No, you sold that. Right. And I quite frankly pride myself on never putting myself in a position, right, to ever have to choose another man's idea or what that looks like for me. Granted, I will never make it up their ladder, but I do not care. Right? I'd rather be a ninja. Like 100%. Right? a monk, whatever you call it, right? You know, it sucks as a child whenever you don't get to have like a good childhood experience, right? And things that cause you to not have a good childhood experience could be like your parents stressing over money, yes, struggling to feed you, or like in other countries, much worse conditions. Yeah. Like having to work from such a young age. Yeah. Now I could go through the plethora of punishments for the dumbest shit. Yeah. It was so petty. It was so petty. The punishment never, ever, ever matched the supposed crime in my house, right? Ever. And so now that I'm older, I I don't have the luxury, nor would I want it, to argue about petty things. Right? You can choose and pick your battles, right? And when you've actually had to fight battles, you know which ones are worth fighting. Yeah. And what's better left alone or not worth your time. Yeah. That's not everyone's experience, though, right? Right. Because we're all living out different realities simultaneously. And somehow the human component has been um, contracted, like extracted. The human component has been extracted from people's day to day, right? And that was intentional. Yeah. It was done over a course of time, and it's not good. It's not good. It makes us desensitized to other suffering. Like, like everybody wants to be a virtue of words and not actions. Yeah, like their choices that they make don't align with what they say. I absolutely hate that, right? Because it's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard to make your actions match your words when you truly believe something or have reason to believe something, right? Like most of the decisions that I've ever made have been either error or correction in my life from my experiences, right? My experiences and my ignorance. Like, they have these people who have assigned themselves as your landlords of earth, yes, uh, for no better way to put it, have assigned themselves the role of your whatever, because all of you apparently are such a uh, lesser creation and that you need someone to do that for you, right? Every single bit of the operation of this planet undermines the so called beliefs that they sell you. Yes, especially those traditional whatevers, right? That I was like exposed to as a young one. And I don't know, I can't make, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, yeah? So there's no point in trying to force anything. Just put out your perspective. Those that resonate will find you, and hopefully they find something useful, right, in it. Something that they can use, like, in their daily lives. Did you know that physics is really just applying, like, the principles of what we observe in the physical world, um, like the natural world, to the material world? Well, they do it to the material world, I do it to the immaterial. But basically, that's what it is, right? So, what else? Why would you not, like, apply that to your spiritual as well as of what you observe? I've never, it's kind of weird to me that respecting that which nourishes you uh, was somehow made demonic or witchcraft or whatever, right? It's just full of contradictions, right? They have to justify their parallel running to the natural world, right? And everybody's like, yeah, I'm going to defend that. That makes sense. Then I have to pay a water bill. Yeah. Right. Do people think that those wires is what gives you electricity? No. No, no, no. Those wires are what directs the natural electricity. Yeah. It doesn't produce the electricity. No, the earth does that. Yeah. There was a man in Zimbabwe that had figured out something very genius for his community. Yeah. Using free energy. Um, And guess what happened to that? Because he wanted to sell it, right? Perhaps I'll post the article about that, yeah. Have you seen the military guy that learned how to gather water from just space, the free space, and provide communities with clean water? And somehow it was sophisticatedly sabotaged. And he's ex-military. He knows. He knows whenever it's a military job, right? You know why they give you dog tags? Oh, I have every right to speak about this, right? I've had plenty of conversations with my uncle, who was in the army. Yeah. By the end of it all, he saw it all for what it was. Yeah. Brainwashing is very powerful. Why do you think they put you in an environment where they scream at you, yell at you, traumatize you, right? I grew up in a household like that, so you can only imagine, right? My life is run very, my friend said, I wish I had the structure that you have. Like, you don't want to know where the structure come from, yeah? You don't want to know where the structure came from. Yeah. But luckily, I've learned that, like, needing my space to be, like, very clear, it went from you can get your ass beat if the shit is not immaculate, to it is better to my mind and my energy and a product of the state of my mind, of the condition of my surroundings, right? To a spiritual understanding. Yeah. See, that's the thing. There's like the force method, right? The I'm going to use violence and whatever else to make you do what I want you to do. But then there's I can see that this affects me in this way. There is a spiritual principle that applies to this, right? And even for depressed people, that's a good thing to like keep in mind, right? If you notice your environment is messy or whatnot, right? Then you know that your internal environment is messy and you need to give it attention. And once you can address that, then your external will match, right? Instead of being hard on yourself, instead of wanting to like eat the pills that they want to feed you to make you non-human and alter your brain, right? Just a little awareness, a little awareness. Two totally different, like, two totally different approaches to the same issue. Yeah. One is helpful and one is not. I would say that most people sign up to go do the rich man's bidding because of the system that they have created and a need for stability. It's mostly poor men, yeah. Wanting to have that opportunity to, you know, go to school and have a decent, you know, at least livable life. So there's no misunderstanding there, right? It's just there needs to be like a deeper understanding of what that is and how they're using it to get you to believe that this is good for you, right? And I want to bring up something very, very important. I was scrolling through, right? And I found this lawyer with Esquire at the end of his name, yes, a black lawyer, preaching about racism here in the America. I'm like, do you even know what's really happening? No, they don't. Right? It's woe is me, woe is me. No, woe is the Congolese, and woe is you owning that iPhone, and woe is where did you get the money for that law school, and woe is I bet you live in a better house and drive a better car and live in a better neighborhood and have better connections, and I bet you go and you kiki it up with all your white buddies and you go play fucking golf on the weekends, and you're gonna sit out here and stir shit among the fucking poor people like you're like them. You're not like them, sir. You're not like them. Look at you. Look at me. Yeah. Who is that comedian that's really funny? Vaughn, whatever. Yeah. Like whenever he was talking about it, he's like, man, we grew up in the same neighborhood. Like, nah, nah, nah. Like, yeah, that's like how I feel about it, right? We went to the same schools. Like, your struggle is the same struggle I got, right? Like, yeah, that's not these people, right? They're fucking shills, just stirring up divide amongst the peasant crowd, right? Because that's where they make most of their money. Stirring up conflict is how a lawyer makes his money. Yeah. Feeding conflict is how a lawyer makes his money. Okay. So people really need to like, because he was speaking about Jesus. I said, sir, this is the problem with like real spirituality and real godliness has been so uh, tainted by those who want to live a certain way. Yeah. Without doing a thorough examination of their lives and make it okay. Yeah. I want to twist everything around to like benefit them, yes. To accommodate the absolute no good that they put out into the world. Right? Like, I don't want to hear anyone speak about like matters of oppression and this and that until they've looked around at the whole world. Yeah. And if you're going to claim some whatever, then you better know exactly what the fuck is going on in present day time. Yeah, because I promise you are not the fucking victim, right? Not the fucking victim. You are not the fucking victim. Stop that shit. The same people who stirred that pot are the same names that are in that fucking dossier. Yeah, like I said, making their grievances yours. It's a fight amongst yourselves so you don't see what we're doing to the real fucking African people. Yeah. Like last time I checked, me and my friends, we make the same amount of fucking money. Yeah. We have the same amount of fucking struggle. Yeah. We're out here making do with the fucking crumbs. Yeah. That's the real fucking problem. Sir, you make $350 a fucking hour, probably plus some. And you're out here fucking talking about Jesus and talking about how black people and racism and all this other shit. The only racism that exists is the shit that y'all create. That's the rich people's luxury, I guess. I don't fucking know. Yeah. And people just eat it up. I tell you what, I used to go sit, my abusive ass parents, yeah. I used to have to go sit in the fucking yard and pull fucking coffee weeds. This is a fucking task all day long. In that hot ass Georgia sun with no water, no nothing. Go out there and pick the fucking coffee weeds out of the fucking yard. Like I was on a fucking plantation. Alright, so I don't want to hear no shit. Oh, it gets worse. I've stood in the fucking snow barefoot for 30 fucking minutes over my brother eating fucking lifesavers, okay? Denied water. Denied bathroom use. Yeah. Locked in a room. I don't want to hear shit from these fucking people. Nothing. Because it ain't the rich that live lives like that. There might be some disgustingly whatever families, right? They go through their own sets of issues, and that's the thing. Everyone goes through their own sets of experiences. So to blanket anyone or anything as such is sloppy, right? And for a lawyer, I expect you to do your fucking homework and know exactly what the fuck it is that you're talking about and that you're fucking presenting to people, yes? And me, right? Like the Congolese were worried that it was going to become a for the rich buddy, and the son is getting a position with the fucking mining company, just like Hunter did. Yeah, corruption. That's just the way it is in fucking county too, right? Some bitch that knew somebody who knew somebody had her fucking position. There was an open position, right? And I went and applied to it. I'm way more qualified than her, school wise and fucking experience and community wise. Yes. Oh, but they're going to tell me whether I am good enough or not, right? But I don't know somebody who knows somebody, so it's a pipe dream. So I was like, I'll just be a lawyer for the people. Yeah, and we're gonna take this shit to the fucking gods, yeah? That's what I decided. Don't need a paycheck for it. It's coming right along. Right. And that position was actually to help the community. Yeah. To help people in those positions get into better positions, right? And correct their lives. Nothing that I haven't had firsthand experience with, or friends who've had firsthand experience with, yeah. So there's a different level of compassion that comes with that, and understanding, which means a better drive to help, yes, which makes me eons more qualified than the bitch that knew somebody who knew somebody who grew up in the fucking suburbs, yes. But it's those motherfuckers who will go tell everybody else what they need to do with these such hard times, yes. Just like fucking politicians all over there, they're all the same. All the fucking same. No business doing what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, it's just self-interest. It looks good. It sounds good. But it ain't good, and it don't help. It's not effective, but their jobs aren't to be effective, is it? No. Because then they wouldn't have jobs. If the world solved all the problems, wouldn't be any place for them. In the order of things. They know this, right? They know this. I really hate it whenever people who haven't done the spiritual work want to speak about spiritual shit. Yeah. Hate it. Because some of us had to come from a very low place to gain the wisdom that we have, yeah. We've done the work. So we have rights to talk about it. And even I'll tell you, sometimes a teacher, sometimes a fucking student, yeah. Because I'm constantly learning, right? These people have it all figured out. Yeah. I'm just constantly out here misleading people. Never anything to back up their work. That's why I'm so glad that mine is reinforced, yeah, with otherworldly things. That's the product of doing the work. That's the product of not speaking until you've done the work. Big difference. And who divides? That man wants to get out here and preach about God. Who divides? A house divided against itself. Well, what? Did you forget Jesus said that? Do you not understand what that means? So the goal should be unity and understanding and finding the commonality, not creating differences that don't even apply to you, quite frankly. Yeah, I don't give a shit what y'all's politically correct bullshit is. Truth is truth, facts, facts, right? You want to play in the fucking law game? This is what it is. Yeah? This is what it fucking is. Because I have no problem embarrassing you. None. None. Right? None. Because I ain't got nothing to lose, yeah? I ain't tied up with these fucking filthy people. I don't have a master, yeah? And a master could be anything, yeah? Money. People you sell your soul for. Tell you what to say, what to think, what to promote. And you just go do it like a good little boy, yeah? Yeah, I don't have none of that. And there's an understanding you can't play and be successful on that ladder? Mm-mm, you can't.